Today's episode is going to be a little bit of a different one. I'm going to do a bit of a POV. Like if I were building my family's home today, what would I do? And it's going to be a little climate specific because I'm here in Southern California, but I'll drop in a few little nuggets based off of maybe where you might be in a different climate zone. But I want to share with you what I would do because I certainly don't have an unlimited budget. So how would I maximize things if I was building my family's home today? But first, I'm Christine. I'm a licensed general contractor here in Southern California and construction consultant on new build and extensive renovation projects nationwide. And today I want to give you some good little tips through the lens of what I would do and really what I see most valuable and building a healthy home, because so many of us, like myself, don't have an unlimited budget and we have some restrictions. So here in Southern California, I'm in Orange County specifically, land is so valuable. We do not have acres and acres of land. We do not have just sprawling hills where we can build on. So my restriction is that most of the lots here in Orange County have existing homes on them, and the lots are teeny tiny. If you are in a rural area, you would die knowing that our lots are typically 6,000 to 7,000 square feet, the lot. So in addition to that, we have a lot of what are setback requirements. So we just can't plop a home in the middle of our 7,000 square foot lot. We have tight setback requirements, typically about 5 feet on each side. And then front and backyards, we have to be anywhere from like 10 or 20 feet typically. So we don't have a lot of square footage we can build, which is fine because I don't want a large home anyways. So if I was building today, I would build a 2-story home because I would need to because of our lot size. It would be a 2-story home and it would be on a concrete foundation. So if I could, I would build up a little bit to get a bit more mound and a bit more distance from the exterior finish grade to the interior. But again, I don't have sprawling acreage here, so I would need to build it as a stem wall. A stem wall is referred to as a taller footing, you could call it, so that brings up the interior elevation of your floor higher than the exterior elevation. Minimum is going to be 8 inches, but I would love to be able to build it up about 18 to 24 inches. I don't know if that would be feasible here, but that's what I would really like to do because you need to bring in quite a bit of soil to get that elevation. So a stem wall would be great. A concrete foundation, I would absolutely put a vapor barrier below that concrete slab, meaning there's a vapor barrier that separates the soil from my concrete slab so that as it rains, which it does rain here, but as it rains and there's groundwater, I'm fairly close to the beach. And so there might be higher water table and more groundwater. And so anytime there is water in that soil, I wouldn't want it in contact with the concrete slab. So that's what I would do for the slab. Exterior walls, they're going to be watertight and they're going to be airtight. Absolutely. So here, there's a ton of stick frame. We do not build with concrete block in California because we have our own seismic requirements as well. Seismic has to do with earthquakes and just making sure things are really structurally sound. So it would be a stick framed home is what it's referred to as. And I'm a fan of using the zip system. These are the green boards that you've seen maybe driving around here in California. We use a lot of the roof sheathing, which is thicker. We use a lot of that for exterior walls as well. I like it because it's what's referred to as an intumescent WRB, like a water resistive barrier. So it's the sheathing that's required for the wall and it's the water resistive barrier. Those are great for watertight, airtight exterior walls. I'm a fan of them. There are other WRB options that are referred to as self-adhered. So it's more of like a peel and stick. Those are really great as well. But I would do the zip system here in Southern California. I would also absolutely do exterior rigid insulation. that is a big benefit. Southern California is not just mild climate, which so many people like to say that, oh, we don't need a lot of building science here. We're in such a mild climate. But that exterior rigid insulation also really helps, if done right, also helps with fire suppression. How? If you were to use a mineral wool exterior rigid insulation, something like a rigid rock wool, it is naturally going to be fire resistant because it's spun lava rock, for the lack of a better term, but it's rock. And so it helps against fire as well. So you get this like fire resistant or fire suppressing jacket around your home. I really like that. I would also absolutely make a fully sealed and unvented attic. Here in California, that is so important. Again, we're in a mild climate, and so virtually every attic that I've seen built just driving down the street is a conventionally ventilated attic, because we're not living in a region where you're prone to ice damming and cold winters. You're not prone to a region that is going to be blazing hot and humid, but still, the thing that's missing is we are in fire country. Like Southern California has wildfire season. We also have earthquake season that seems to happen all year round. But something that really was overlooked when the LA fires happened over 18 months ago was that when you have a ventilated attic, meaning air is moving around in that attic, well, when there's a fire, that is also going to bring in embers. So that's why a lot of the homes burned down in the LA fires wasn't because the exterior of the home caught fire. It's because embers landed inside the ventilated attic. They got sucked up through soffit vents and they landed right on top of the insulation or the attic floor. And the homes virtually burned from the attic, like inside out is how they burned. I think every home in California, and really, if feasible, nationwide, should really consider doing an unsealed, unvented attic. That means that you're not having air movement flowing around and outside air flowing around. Now, you would absolutely have mechanical air movement, but it's all within the conditioned space of your home. So embers flying up into your attic wouldn't be as much, or if any, concern at all, because it would be airtight. So if I were building my family's home today, I would have robust foundation, exterior walls with this rigid insulation, and definitely a sealed and unvented attic. Absolutely. I would also do one of my favorite things when it comes to the interior part of the home. I would do paperless drywall. So there would be no paper drywall within the home. There's a few different ways you could go about this. Some choose magnesium oxide board. I'm not a big fan of magnesium oxide board. Alternatively, there is a paperless drywall that's referred to as like an interior glass mat material. And that's one that, again, doesn't have paper. And so moisture getting up behind the backside of a paperless drywall is not nearly as susceptible than the paper variety of drywall. So when it comes to the exterior, that's how I would handle it. My own home, I would absolutely do leak testing. It's something that I talk about with all of our clients, just the benefits of actually doing thorough leak testing. I would absolutely leak test the exterior, the windows, the roof. I would do all of that before insulation and drywall went in. Why? Because it is a very good idea to have that information before you move forward in your project. It gives you peace of mind. And I would want to know if there is a leak at the exterior of the home. I would want to correct that. I would want to fix it during construction. I wouldn't want to find out about it in 5 or 10 years' time when it's made quite a bit of issues in that time. So leak testing would be a big part of the quality control of the exterior of the home. Next, I would really emphasize the mechanical system. I would spend the money to do a proper mechanical design and calculation based on how the exterior of my home would be built and based on my climate. In my climate here in Southern California, yes, it's relatively mild, but again, we have wildfire season. So what we like to do in homes that are prone to wildfires are having dampers that can close. So as you have your dryer vent, you have other exhaust, you have a hood exhaust, you have these openings even when you have fresh air coming in. So there's openings in the exterior of your home. But in the event of a fire, I would like those to close completely. I do not want embers. I do not want wildfire smoke coming in to my home. So the mechanicals would be designed specifically for our climate, but also really emphasizing indoor air quality. Air filtration, dehumidification, ERVs that would be bringing in fresh air. Our mechanical system would be dialed in and it would be bringing in filtered fresh air because we'd have a really airtight, watertight home. That's what I would have definitely at the top of the list. Then the last category I would really focus on for peace of mind, because I have a husband and I have two little ones that are 7 and 9 currently. And I would really want to manage leaks, whether there's spills, whether there's overflowing washing machines, whether it's my daughter who takes very long showers. Like, I would want to manage all of the plumbing supply lines within the home. This is something that we do currently in our home. Is we have floor drain in our laundry room. So if the washing machine were to overflow, it would go down the drain, not ruin the entire laundry room. We also, a part of our leak management plan that I have now, and I would absolutely implement in a new home if I was building it today, is a whole home leak detecting device. This is something that gives me peace of mind of knowing, like, if there is a small leak or a big one, that I would be alerted and notified about it. The other thing that I really like about a leak detecting system is that if and when we go away on vacation, I can just completely turn off the water. Like, all of the water that comes into the home, shut off. It doesn't need to be on. The landscaping is on a different run, so that's not affected. But I like to know that when we leave for vacation, I can just completely shut it off. And I don't have to worry about coming home to like floods of water as a surprise when we get back from vacation. So leak management would be a big part of a new build project if I was doing it for my family. Although there were things that I was able to implement in our current home when we fully renovated it. And we did a lot of leak management strategies just so that I wasn't worried or had a feeling of, what if it's leaking? I don't know. Or access panels are a big part of what we implemented, just so that there can be peace of mind. Because what I want for you, whether you're renovating, whether you're not renovating, whether you're planning to do a new build, what I really want for you is to live in your home peacefully, without the fear of water damage, mold, toxins. You should be living in your home as a sanctuary and not living in fear. That is just no way to live. There is a better way. There are small things that you can do. There are big things that you can do, like the vision that I have if I were building my own home today. But just get to a place and make decisions to where you are not making decisions from a place of fear, not living in your home fearful that it is making you sick, because it should be your sanctuary, your space where you're raising your family. So that's what I was thinking about today, as if I were building my own home, some of the strategies that I would implement. So if you found this episode helpful, click the subscribe link below. We put episodes out every week just like this that can help you in your healthy home build journey. And if there's anything we can do to help you along the way, we have links below to our website and where you can apply for consulting. So I will see you on the next episode.